The Vanguard Protocol. The EDS Prometheus hung in Earth's orbit like a metallic leviathan, its sleek hull gleaming under the harsh light of the sun. Commander Alexis Reeves stood motionless before the observation deck's panoramic viewport, watching as Earth, a fragile blue marble against the vastness of space, slowly rotated beneath them. 3 years had passed since the Arcturus Collective had discovered humanity, and those years had been nothing short of catastrophic. "Commander, final system checks are complete," Lieutenant Maya Chen reported, her voice cutting through Reeves' contemplation. "Engineering confirms the Vanguard Protocol is ready for activation." Reeves nodded, her eyes never leaving the viewport. Earth's once thriving cities were now scattered with the wreckage of Arcturus warships, not from human victories, but from the Collective's brutal demonstration of power. Billions dead in the first wave alone. The remaining governments had united out of desperation, pooling their resources for one final, impossible project, the Prometheus. "The Joint Chiefs are requesting confirmation of launch timeline," Chen added, her normally steady voice betraying a hint of anxiety. "Tell them we launch in 30 minutes, Reeves replied, finally turning away from Earth's scarred surface, "and remind them this isn't what they asked for. It's better." The command center of the Prometheus hummed with nervous energy as crew members prepared for humanity's most ambitious mission. When the Arcturus Collective had arrived, they hadn't come as explorers or diplomats. They had come as harvesters, seeing Earth as nothing more than a resource cache to be stripped and abandoned. Their technology had overwhelmed Earth's defenses in days, not weeks. Conventional weapons had proven useless against their quantum-shielded vessels. Dr. Elias Okafor approached Reeves, his tall frame bent slightly from months of exhaustion. As the lead scientist behind the Vanguard Protocol, he had worked himself to the edge of collapse. "Commander, I need to emphasize again that we've never tested the protocol at full capacity," he said quietly. "The simulations are promising, but we don't have the luxury of extended testing." Reeves finished for him. "I know, Doctor. We all know the risks." The Prometheus wasn't a conventional warship. The name Stardestroyer had stuck during development, though it was fundamentally inaccurate. The vessel couldn't destroy stars. It could manipulate them. After reverse engineering fragments of Arcturus technology, Dr. Okafor had discovered something the aliens had overlooked. Stars weren't just energy sources. They were natural quantum entanglement networks. The Vanguard Protocol was designed to tap into that network, using stars as both weapon and shield. "All personnel, secure for departure. T-minus 20 minutes to Vanguard Protocol activation," announced the ship's AI, its synthetic voice oddly calming. Captain Shenwei, the ship's tactical officer, approached with a holographic display of their target, the Arcturus Forward Command vessel orbiting Mars. "Latest intelligence confirms their shield configuration hasn't changed," he reported. "They still don't consider us a threat." "Their mistake," Reeves remarked, studying the display. "How many ships in their defensive perimeter?" 12 warships, various classes, all equipped with the same quantum shielding that's been impervious to our weapons. Reeves allowed herself a grim smile. Not for much longer. The crew of the Prometheus, just over 300 specialists pulled from every nation, represented the pinnacle of human ingenuity and determination. They weren't traditional soldiers, but scientists, engineers, and theorists who had volunteered for what many considered a suicide mission. But the alternative, watching Earth's systematic dismantling, was unthinkable. T-minus 15 minutes, the AI announced. "All crew to secure stations." Dr. Okafor's team had worked tirelessly to perfect the Vanguard Protocol, an elegant solution born from desperate circumstances. The Arcturus vessels used quantum uncertainty to generate impenetrable shields. Any conventional weapon simply couldn't decide whether to exist inside or outside the barrier. But stars, as Dr. Okafor had discovered, existed in all quantum states simultaneously. By establishing entanglement between the Prometheus and Sol, they could channel that omnipresent energy directly through Arcturus defenses. Engineering reports core temperature optimal. Lieutenant G announced from her station. Solar collectors at maximum capacity. Initiate quantum alignment with Sol, Reeves ordered, taking her command seat as holographic displays materialized around her. Begin countdown for Vanguard protocol. As the Prometheus prepared to depart Earth orbit, an alarm suddenly blared through the command center. Multiple Arcturus vessels breaking Mars orbit. Captain Shen called out, his fingers dancing across tactical displays. They're moving toward us at high velocity. Reeves leaned forward. They've detected our power signature. Accelerate the countdown. We launch now. But Commander, Dr. Okafor protested, the entanglement sequence isn't fully stabilized. It's stable enough, Reeves countered. We won't get another chance. The Prometheus shuddered as its revolutionary drive system engaged, tearing a temporary passage through space-time. The vessel's hull groaned under stresses it had never been designed to endure. Entanglement at 60% and climbing, Lieutenant J reported, her voice remarkably composed despite the emergency launch. Solar collectors channeling energy to the main array. The viewport suddenly filled with the blinding light of weapons fire as the approaching Arcturus vessels opened fire, their energy weapons, capable of vaporizing conventional hulls instantly, splashed harmlessly against the Prometheus's experimental shielding. They're trying to get our attention, Reeves observed dryly. Let's show them they have it. Charge the primary emitter. The deck beneath them vibrated as unprecedented amounts of solar energy funneled through the ship's systems. Warning lights flashed across multiple stations as the untested technology stretched to its limits. Entanglement at 83%. Jay called out. That's within operational parameters. Target the lead Arcturus vessel, Reeves ordered. Minimal yield. This is just a demonstration. Captain Shen locked the targeting systems on the approaching alien flagship. Target acquired. Emitter charged and ready. Reeves took a deep breath. 3 years of suffering, planning, and hoping had led to this moment. Fire. The Prometheus didn't shake or recoil when the primary emitter activated. There was no dramatic beam of energy or explosive projectile. Instead, a barely perceptible ripple emanated from the ship, invisible to the naked eye, but clearly tracked on their instruments. When it reached the targeted Arcturus vessel, the effect was immediate and catastrophic. The alien ship's quantum shields collapsed instantly as the entangled solar energy simply ignored the distinction between outside and inside. Systems across the vessel failed simultaneously as the precisely calibrated energy surge overwhelmed them. Direct hit, Shen reported, unable to keep the awe from his voice. Their shields are completely down. Secondary systems failing across their vessel. For the first time in 3 years, humanity had landed a truly effective blow against the invaders. The remaining Arcturus ships immediately halted their approach, clearly reassessing the threat the Prometheus posed. Open a communication channel, Reeves ordered. All frequencies, translated into their language patterns. When the channel opened, Reeves stood from her command chair, her voice steady and clear. Arcturus vessels, this is Commander Alexis Reeves of Earth's defense ship Prometheus. What you just witnessed was a minimal demonstration of our capabilities. We have discovered the fundamental flaw in your quantum shielding technology. Stars don't recognize your barriers. The command center fell silent as they waited for a response. After several tense moments, the main view screen activated, revealing the alien commander, a towering insectoid figure with iridescent plating and multiple compound eyes. Human vessel, the alien's translated voice rasped through the speakers. Your attack was unexpected. No species has penetrated our shielding in 700 cycles. We're full of surprises, Reeves replied. Here's another one. Withdraw your harvesting operations from our system immediately, or we will systematically disable every Arcturus vessel in range. This is not a negotiation. The alien commander's mandibles clicked rapidly, what the translation software identified as their equivalent of laughter. One vessel cannot challenge our armada, regardless of your temporary advantage. We have already called for reinforcements. I was hoping you'd say that, Reeves responded, nodding to Captain Shen. Because we'd like to meet them. Before the alien could respond, Shen activated the Prometheus's revolutionary drive again. The ship vanished from Earth orbit in a flash of concentrated energy, reappearing instantly at the edge of the solar system. Directly alongside the Arcturus reinforcement fleet, emerging from faster-than-light travel. Impressive, isn't it? Reeves continued, knowing the communication link remained active. Your quantum barrier technology gave you an advantage for centuries. But while you were perfecting your shields, you neglected to understand the fundamental nature of stars themselves. On the view screen, the alien commander's posture had changed, compound eyes fixed on data being fed to him from his sensors. What are you? We're human, Reeves answered simply. And we've just changed the rules of engagement. The Vanguard Protocol isn't just a weapon, it's a statement. Humanity will not be harvested. As she spoke, the Prometheus's energy collectors extended further, establishing quantum entanglement with not just Sol, but with nearby stars simultaneously, something Dr. Okafor's theories had suggested might be possible, but had never been confirmed until this moment. Multiple entanglement signatures stabilizing, Lieutenant Jai reported, her voice tinged with disbelief. Commander, we're successfully linked to 3 separate stellar bodies simultaneously. The Arcturus reinforcement fleet, 15 vessels strong, began to move into defensive formations, but their movements seemed hesitant, uncertain. They're scanning us, Captain Shen reported, trying to understand what we've become. Dr. Okafor approached Reeves, his expression a mixture of scientific wonder and moral concern. Commander, with triple entanglement, the destructive potential has increased exponentially. We need to be careful. Reeves nodded, turning back to the alien commander still visible on the view screen. Here are humanity's terms. Complete withdrawal from our solar system within 24 hours. A formal recognition of Earth's sovereignty and right to self-determination, and reparations for the damage already inflicted. The alien commander's mandibles clicked rapidly again, but this time the translation software identified the pattern as indicating agitation rather than amusement. The Arcturus Collective does not negotiate with harvesting targets. Then consider this a revision to your protocols, Reeves replied. She nodded to Captain Shen. Target their command vessel. Full demonstration. This time, when the Prometheus unleashed the Vanguard Protocol, the effect was visible even to the naked eye. A cascading wave of golden energy that enveloped the Arcturus command ship. For a moment, the alien vessel seemed untouched, and then its hull began to glow from within. Systems overloading as triple entangled stellar energy bypassed every defense. The command vessel didn't explode dramatically. Instead, it simply went dark. All energy drained. All systems neutralized simultaneously. It floated, dead in space, a metallic husk that had once represented the pinnacle of Arcturus military might. The remaining vessels are powering down weapons systems, Shen reported, his voice hushed. They're standing down. The alien commander's image flickered on the view screen as their ship's power fluctuated. This technology, it should not be possible. Necessity drives innovation, Reeves replied. And you left us no choice but to innovate or die. Now, about those terms. As the Prometheus maintained its position, quantum entangled with 3 different stars simultaneously, the balance of power in the solar system shifted irrevocably. Humanity had done the impossible, not just survived first contact with a hostile alien civilization, but turned the tables completely. They're transmitting a signal back to their home system, Lieutenant Chen reported. Appears to be a status update and a request for negotiation protocols. Reeves allowed herself a small, satisfied nod. The Vanguard Protocol was never about destroying stars, Doctor, she said quietly to Okafor. It was about changing the game entirely. As the Arcturus fleet remained frozen in indecision, the Prometheus glowed with the power of 3 stars, a testament to human ingenuity and defiance in the face of overwhelming odds. The message was clear. Humanity would not go quietly into the night. They would stand, fight, and if necessary, rewrite the very laws of physics to survive. The first true test of Earth's Stardestroyer had exceeded all expectations, and as Commander Reeves looked out at the humbled Arcturus fleet, she knew this was just the beginning. Echoes of defiance. The Prometheus drifted at the edge of the solar system, its hull still pulsing with the residual energy of triple stellar entanglement. Inside the command center, Commander Alexis Reeves studied the holographic representation of the disabled Arcturus command vessel. The alien ship hung lifeless in space, a testament to humanity's unexpected triumph. Structural analysis complete, reported Dr. Okafor, swiping through detailed scans on his tablet. Their vessel architecture is fascinating. Biomechanical integration at a cellular level. The ship is practically alive. Or was, Captain Shen added, standing beside him. No life signs detected. The energy surge neutralized everything. Reeves frowned. While the demonstration had been necessary, the complete loss of life hadn't been her intention. How many? Based on comparable vessels, approximately 3,000 crew, Lieutenant Chen answered quietly. A heavy silence fell across the command center. They had won their first victory, but the cost weighed on them all. These weren't mindless drones, but sentient beings, albeit ones intent on harvesting Earth's resources regardless of human casualties. The remaining Arcturus vessels are maintaining their distance, Shen reported after a moment. They've established a defensive perimeter, but aren't advancing. They're waiting for instructions, Reeves said. Their command structure must be hierarchical. With their lead vessel disabled, they're hesitant to make decisions. Lieutenant G approached from her engineering station, her expression troubled. Commander, we have a situation with the entanglement matrix. The connections are becoming unstable. Dr. Okafor immediately brought up additional diagnostics on the main display. The simultaneous connection to multiple stars is putting unprecedented strain on our systems. We never designed the Vanguard protocol to maintain triple entanglement for extended periods. How long before we lose the connections? Reeves asked. 8 hours, possibly 10, Okafor replied. After that, we'll need at least 48 hours to reset the entire system. Reeves considered this new complication. They had gained a momentary advantage, but it wouldn't last. And once the Arcturus realized the limitations of their technology, they would almost certainly regroup and attack. Incoming transmission, Chen announced suddenly. Not from the Arcturus fleet. It's coming from deeper in the system. On screen, Reeves ordered. The main view screen flickered to life, but instead of another insectoid Arcturus commander, a distinctly different alien appeared. This being had a vaguely humanoid shape, but with translucent skin that seemed to pulse with internal bioluminescence. Its eyes, 4 of them arranged in a diamond pattern, regarded the humans with unmistakable intelligence. Vessel of Earth, the alien spoke, its words translated through the ship's communication system. I am Observer Thilian of the Meridian Accord. Your actions have been noted. Reeves straightened, hiding her surprise. This is Commander Alexis Reeves of the EDS Prometheus. We were unaware of other non-Arcturus entities in our system. The alien skin pulsed with blue light. We have been observing the Arcturus incursion into your system for some time. Their harvesting operations violate several interstellar covenants, but intervention was deemed premature. Premature. Reeves couldn't keep the edge from her voice. Billions of humans have died while you observed. Yes, the alien acknowledged without apparent remorse. The Meridian Accord does not interfere with evolutionary challenges. Species must demonstrate capacity for self-preservation. Captain Shen leaned toward Reeves, whispering, They were testing us. And now you have demonstrated remarkable adaptation, Thilian continued. Your Vanguard protocol represents an entirely new approach to quantum manipulation. The Arcturus Collective has dominated this sector for centuries precisely because their shielding technology was considered unbreachable. Reeves studied the alien's impassive features. Why reveal yourself now? Because you stand at a precipice. Thelian replied. The Arcturus will not accept defeat. They are sending their primary harvesting fleet, over 200 vessels. They will arrive in approximately 36 hours. The command center erupted in concerned murmurs. Lieutenant G turned pale. Commander, even if we solve the entanglement instability, we can't possibly engage 200 ships. The observer is right, Dr. Okafor added grimly. This was never going to end with one demonstration. Reeves turned back to the view screen. I assume the Meridian Accord won't be offering assistance. Thelian's skin shifted to a deep purple. Direct military intervention is prohibited. However, information exchange is permitted. Your species has demonstrated sufficient advancement to qualify for limited knowledge transfer. What kind of information? Reeves asked cautiously. The Arcturus possess a significant weakness, one they have concealed for millennia. Thelian replied. Their entire civilization depends on a specific type of quantum resonance drawn from harvested worlds. Without it, their technology, including their vaunted shields, rapidly deteriorates. Dr. Okafor stepped forward. That explains their harvesting strategy. They're not just taking resources, they're extracting quantum properties from planetary bodies. Precisely, Thelian confirmed. And your Vanguard protocol, with modifications, could disrupt this resonance across their entire fleet simultaneously. Reeves narrowed her eyes. Why would you share this with us? What does the Meridian Accord gain? The alien skin briefly flashed with golden patterns. Balance. The Arcturus expansion threatens multiple developing civilizations. Their quantum harvesting leaves worlds uninhabitable. The Accord seeks equilibrium, not dominance. Before Reeves could respond, Lieutenant Chen called out, Commander, the Arcturus vessels are powering up their engines. They're repositioning. It appears our conversation has been detected, Thelian observed calmly. I have transmitted the relevant quantum signatures to your science officer's terminal. How you use this information is, of course, your choice. The alien's image flickered once before disappearing. They're targeting the Meridian vessel, Shen reported urgently. Preparing to fire. Intercept course, Reeves ordered immediately. Position us between the Arcturus and the Meridian ship. The Prometheus surged forward, its drives pushing to maximum acceleration. As they approached, they witnessed the Meridian vessel, a sleek, crystalline structure that seemed to bend light around it, attempting evasive maneuvers as Arcturus weapons fire reached toward it. They won't make it, Shen said grimly, watching the tactical display. Activate the Vanguard protocol, Reeves commanded. Target the leave attacking vessel only. Lieutenant G's fingers danced across her console. Protocol active, but the entanglement matrix is already showing signs of instability. It just needs to hold for one more demonstration, Reeves insisted. Once again, the Prometheus channeled the entangled stellar energy, focusing it precisely on the Arcturus vessel preparing to destroy the Meridian observer. The effect was immediate. The alien ship's systems failed catastrophically, its weapons powering down mid-charge. The remaining Arcturus vessels immediately broke off their attack, retreating to a safer distance. The Meridian ship is hailing us, Chen reported, surprise evident in her voice. Thelian appeared on screen again, the alien skin now pulsing with rapid patterns of blue and gold. An interesting choice, Commander. Protection of non-allied entities is rare among emergent species. We protect those who offer help, Reeves replied simply. Now about these quantum signatures. The next 12 hours passed in a blur of frantic activity. Dr. Okafor's team worked tirelessly to incorporate Thelian's information into the Vanguard protocol, while engineering crews struggled to stabilize the deteriorating entanglement matrix. The Prometheus maintained a defensive position near the Meridian vessel, which continued to transmit detailed data about Arcturus technology and vulnerabilities. In the ship's conference room, Reeves met with her senior officers, studying the modified Vanguard protocol that Dr. Okafor had developed. Instead of targeting individual vessels, Okafor explained, pointing to a complex simulation, will create a quantum resonance cascade. The modified protocol will essentially poison the very quantum signatures the Arcturus depend on. Will it kill them? Reeves asked directly. Okafor shook his head. No, but it will render their technology, especially their shielding and weapons, inert for several weeks. They'll be forced to retreat to their home system for recovery. Captain Shen studied the tactical implications, so we're not destroying their fleet, just disarming it. Exactly, Okafor confirmed. And since the effect propagates through their own quantum network, it will affect not just the ships in our system, but potentially their entire civilization temporarily. There's something else, Lieutenant G added hesitantly. The Meridian data suggests this will create a quantum signature that will mark Earth as essentially toxic to Arcturus harvesting. They literally won't be able to process our planet's resources. Reeves nodded slowly. A permanent deterrent rather than just a temporary victory. It's elegant, Dr. Okafor admitted. But there's a significant cost. To generate the required cascade, we'll need to establish simultaneous entanglement with 7 stars, not just 3. Is that even possible? Shen asked. Theoretically, yes. Practically, Okafor's voice trailed off. The Prometheus won't survive it. Reeves finished for him. The entanglement feedback will destroy the ship. A heavy silence fell over the conference room as the implication sank in. Lieutenant Chen was the first to speak. The ship could be automated. We could evacuate the crew to the shuttle bay, program the sequence, and... No, Okafor interrupted. The quantum harmonics require constant adjustment. The AI can't handle the minute variations. Someone would need to remain aboard to manually stabilize the entanglement matrix during the cascade. All eyes turned to Reeves, who met their gaze steadily. Then I'll do it. Commander, Shen began to protest, but Reeves raised a hand. This isn't open for discussion. Prepare the evacuation protocols for all non-essential personnel. Lieutenant Jai, you'll coordinate with Dr. Okafor to program the preliminary sequence. I'll handle the final adjustments. As the meeting disbanded, Dr. Okafor lingered behind. Commander, there might be another way. The Meridian technology. We barely understand our own technology, Doctor. Reeves reminded him gently. Let's not complicate things further. Sometimes the simplest solution is the right one. 24 hours later, with the Arcturus reinforcement fleet detected at the edge of the solar system, the Prometheus had undergone a dramatic transformation. Most of its crew had transferred to the emergency shuttle array, which now orbited at a safe distance. The ship's systems had been stripped down to one essential function, the modified Vanguard protocol. On the nearly empty command deck, Reeves sat alone at the central console, surrounded by holographic displays monitoring the approaching Arcturus armada. Final system check complete, reported Dr. Okafor's voice over the communication system. Entanglement matrix prepared for 7-star activation. Commander, are you absolutely certain? I am, Doctor. Reeves interrupted calmly. The shuttle sensors are picking up the approaching fleet. 217 vessels, exactly as Thelian predicted. From the evacuation shuttle, Captain Shen's voice came through. The Arcturus are transmitting a demand for our surrender. They're claiming the right to harvest Earth under some galactic resource allocation mandate. Reeves couldn't help but smile grimly. Tell them Commander Reeves sends her regards and suggests they reconsider their mandate. As the massive Arcturus fleet approached, forming an intimidating wall of technological might, Reeves began the final sequence. The Prometheus' remaining power redirected to the entanglement matrix, establishing connections to 7 carefully selected stars across the local stellar neighborhood. Warning alerts flashed across her console as the ship's structure began to protest. The Prometheus had never been designed for this level of quantum manipulation. Entanglement at 60%, Reeves reported to the evacuation shuttle, matrix showing signs of instability, but holding. Commander, Dr. Okafor's voice was strained. The Meridian vessel is approaching your position. Thelian is requesting communication. Put them through, Reeves ordered, her fingers never stopping their dance across the controls as she made continuous adjustments to the fragile quantum connections. Thelian's image appeared on the view screen, the alien skin now pulsing with deep red patterns. Commander Reeves, your current course of action has a 97.8% probability of failure. I prefer to focus on the 2.2% chance of success, Reeves replied without looking up from her work. Your species' determination is remarkable, Thelian observed. The Meridian Accord has reached a consensus. We wish to offer an alternative. This caught Reeves's attention. I'm listening. Our vessel possesses quantum stabilization technology that could significantly increase your probability of success. With your permission, we will synchronize our systems with the Prometheus. Reeves hesitated, her training telling her to be suspicious of this sudden offer. Why now? Why not offer this earlier? The Accord required proof of your species' willingness to sacrifice for its survival, Thelian answered. You have provided that proof most convincingly. The Prometheus shuddered violently as one of the stellar entanglements briefly destabilized. Reeves quickly compensated, restoring the connection, but the ship's structural integrity was failing faster than anticipated. I accept your offer, she decided. Synchronize when ready. The approaching Arcturus fleet had begun to detect the unusual energy patterns emanating from the Prometheus. Their forward vessels slowed, clearly uncertain about this new development. Meridian quantum synchronization complete, reported Lieutenant G from the shuttle. Commander, the entanglement matrix it's stabilizing. Integrity holding at 78%. With the Meridian support, the 7 stellar connections strengthened, golden filaments of energy visibly connecting the Prometheus to points across space. The ship was now the nexus of an unprecedented quantum network spanning light years. The Arcturus fleet has halted its advance, Captain Shen reported. They're scanning the Prometheus intensively. They recognize the threat, Reeves said, initiating the modified Vanguard protocol. As her fingers executed the final command sequence, the Prometheus became a conduit for something entirely new. A quantum cascade that rippled outward at faster than light speeds, targeting the specific resonance signatures that powered Arcturus technology. The effect wasn't visible in traditional space, but on quantum levels, it was like watching a tsunami crash through the alien fleet. One by one, the Arcturus vessels went dark, their quantum-based systems failing catastrophically as the cascade overwhelmed their carefully calibrated technologies. No explosions, no destruction. Just silent, complete neutralization. It's working, Dr. Okafor exclaimed over the communication link. The entire fleet is powering down. But aboard the Prometheus, alarms shrieked as the quantum feedback began to overwhelm even the Meridian stabilization. The ship's hull groaned under stresses it was never designed to withstand. Structural integrity failing, Reeves reported calmly. Main reactor approaching critical. I've initiated the emergency protocols. Commander, Lieutenant Chen's voice broke slightly. The Meridian vessel is extending some kind of energy field around the Prometheus. On the view screen, Thelian's form had changed, the alien's transparency now filled with swirling patterns of gold and silver. Your sacrifice has been noted, Commander Reeves, but today is not your ending. Before Reeves could respond, the Prometheus was enveloped in crystalline energy. As the ship's reactor reached critical mass, instead of the expected destruction, the energy was channeled, redirected, transformed. When the blinding light faded, the Prometheus was gone, but Reeves found herself standing in a strange translucent chamber aboard what could only be the Meridian vessel. What happened? She demanded, turning to find Thelian standing nearby. Your vessel has been disassembled at the quantum level, the alien explained. Its energy pattern preserved within our containment systems. It can be reconstituted, eventually. Outside the crystalline walls of the alien ship, the disabled Arcturus fleet drifted powerlessly. Beyond them, Earth shone bright and blue, now protected by a quantum signature that would render it forever toxic to Arcturus harvesting. The Arcturus will retreat to their home system for recovery. Thillian continued, but they will not return to Earth. Your modified Vanguard protocol was more effective than anticipated. It has permanently altered the quantum resonance of your entire solar system and humanity's place in the galaxy. Reeves asked. Thillian's skin pulsed with new patterns, complex swirls that the translation system interpreted as amusement. Significantly changed. The Meridian Accord recognizes Earth as an emergent civilization with protected status, and the Arcturus Collective has experienced its first meaningful defeat in 7 centuries. Not just a defeat, Reeves observed, watching as the powerless alien fleet began to slowly reorient themselves for retreat. A revelation. They're not invincible. Indeed, Thillian agreed, and that knowledge will spread quickly. Other species long intimidated by Arcturus dominance will take note. The balance shifts. As the Meridian vessel moved toward the evacuation shuttles to reunite Reeves with her crew, she looked back at the stars that had saved her world. Humanity's first Stardestroyer hadn't actually destroyed anything. Instead, it had created something new. In the vast darkness between worlds, the stars themselves had become humanity's allies, their quantum essence transformed into a shield for a young species taking its first steps into a larger, more dangerous universe. Not with overwhelming firepower or destructive capability, but with understanding, imagination, and the courage to rewrite the rules of engagement. Earth wouldn't be harvested today. And as news of the Arcturus defeat spread across interstellar communication networks, the name of a single human vessel, the Prometheus, would become known to countless civilizations as the ship that had changed the galaxy's balance of power forever. Humanity, it seemed, had arrived on the galactic stage, and the stars themselves had welcomed them.